Hello, my name is Sumra Fathima and I am studying in Donald Memorial High School. Today I am going to share some information about respiratory diseases like asthma, COPD, swine flu and COVID-19. So without any further delay, let's get started.
The organ getting affected in asthma is the airway passage. A normal airway passage has bands of smooth muscle around the outside, a healthy pink lining on the inside. People with asthma have sensitive airways. They react to triggers which may cause their asthma to flare up. If a sensitive airway reacts to a trigger, changes can take place that narrow the airway opening. The airway becomes inflamed, the walls of the airway becomes red and swollen. The airway may also produce excess of mucus. This causes airway to narrow further. Air traveling the muscle bands around the airway may also tighten and reduce the size of the airway even further. Any of these changes can occur: airway inflammation, excess mucus production, and muscle tightening. It makes the mobility of air in lungs difficult. A person with these changes in his or her airway may experience the signs and symptoms of asthma. The second respiratory disease is COPD. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or COPD is a lung disease that affects millions of people. It includes diseases called emphysema and chronic bronchitis. A person with COPD may have emphysema or chronic bronchitis, but most of them have both. Some people with COPD may also have asthma symptoms like wheezing. The normal alveoli look like a bunch of grapes. But in emphysema, there is a damage to the walls of the alveoli in lungs. Due to this, it gets difficult for alveoli to transfer oxygen in the bloodstream. The lungs may also not be able to get rid of carbon dioxide. Lungs also lose their stretchiness and elasticity. The normal airway is also clear. But in chronic bronchitis, there is a long-lasting cough and mucus production. The lung airway becomes swollen and produces more mucus. The third disease is the swine flu or H1N1. Swine flu is a respiratory disease caused by a virus known as H1N1. It is a virus infection transmitted by inhalation of infected droplets, such as from people sneezing or coughing. The virus has an envelope with spikes of proteins known as HNN proteins. Swine flu infects the cell in respiratory system first, such as nose, throat, and lungs. The H spikes on the virus attaches to receptors on the surface of a healthy cell membrane. This allows the virus to penetrate the cell, so the body forms a membrane around the viral molecule. Then the virus moves towards the nucleus and opens up to release its genetic content inside the cell cytoplasm. The viral genetic content enters the nucleus where it uses the cell machinery to make copies of itself. Some of these copies travel towards the ribosomes. Ribosomes are like factories that produce parts based on a blueprint. The viral blueprint causes ribosomes to manufacture proteins that are needed to create new viral molecules. In this way, one viral cell can affect our whole body. The fourth disease is the novel coronavirus or the COVID-19, because of which the whole world is suffering today. It is a very dangerous disease which may even lead to death. As we have seen in swine flu, in the same way these organisms also attach to the receptors of the cell membrane, allowing the virus to enter. The exact mechanism for this is not known yet. Most likely human cells ingest the virus in a process known as endocytosis. Once inside the cytoplasm, the endosomes opens to reveal the virus's genetic material is single-strand RNA, that is ribonucleic acid. The virus hijacks the cell machinery to replicate the RNA. After replication of RNA, the virus is carried by Golgi bodies out of the cell in a process known as exocytosis, so that it can infect other cells. Meanwhile, the stress of viral production on the endoplasmic reticulum eventually leads to apoptosis or cell death. Hope you gained some knowledge through my video. Thank you.